Hey there everyone. Last night I had some great fun going through the master maps with a character that's exactly like the one which I have in the real game. So these are the master maps here. They start getting extremely hard, and up to Blind Man's Pass is the main thing you'd want to do for the festival. That's where you get the second set of elite jewels. So anyway, I thought it'd be fun to make a video of me going through every map up to Blind Man's Pass. Now, I'm not going to do it all in this video, so there's going to be a part 2, maybe a part 3. We'll see how I do. So yeah, these first few maps are going to be super fast. So if you want to see the later ones, then go check out one of the other videos. The links will be in the description. But anyway, this is the character. It's almost identical stats to my current character, and it's using stuff like the Lion's Glory gloves that I'd use, and the Flame Ward seal, because the effect on that's awesome, as well as this Aegis of Sementa Leota seal. Which is some damage reduction. So yeah, anyway, this I've actually got very slightly lower stats than I normally have. I have 63,000 damage, and also I kind of lowered my attack speed and crit rating because I adjusted all the stats to be identical to what I had, except for the damage, and then I switched out this ring, so I lost some crit rating and stuff. But anyway, it's close enough, and you'll see the damage is high enough that it's not really a problem. The lifesteal as well, because I used Elite Spheres, that's higher than I actually have. I don't have that much. So anyway, it's like 460,000 health. These are the stats here, if you want to look at these. Crit rating is not so important if you're playing Knight or Wizard, because you've got the auto crit. But anyway, that's how much crit damage I have, which seems to be enough. I've gone with about 400%. Fire and Nature is what I'm using. And then, as for the, so a little bit over 2 million armor. I've got the 56% move speed that I have on my character. And then as for skill runes, and skills layout, you can see I've got 99 points in Archmage, which gives a nice little kind of recovery, health recovery stuff. I've also put some more points in Mimic, so that lasts longer. And then Polymorph has to be 99. My armor skill, this is actually better to be higher if you're doing master maps, but I have it as 10 on my character, and it seems like it's enough, so I'm just sticking with that. A little tip actually, if you need to wait for the armor buff to end. However, if you use, when you've got a cooldown potion on, Archmage, the cooldown on that is roughly 20 seconds or slightly over. So actually you can look at the Archmage cooldown to work out, to know in advance when your armor buff's going to end. That's what I use to see, so then I know when it's going to end and I can reapply it almost immediately. So now I'm going to put the potions on, and we're going to get going. One more thing to mention, and that is this special potion thing you get. So you get this in the festivals which have the master maps in. You always seem to get this item which gives you extra move speed. Oh, it's only 3 seconds. Oh, I thought it was 5 seconds. Anyway, it's pretty useful for running through the map faster. Obviously, I'm using teleport too, but you'll see that it's nice to get that extra boost. So let's start on the hunting trail, and let's see how many maps I can get through. This video is going to be 15 minutes long. And then the later video or videos are going to be showing, these later maps. I want to say as well, I'm suffering from pretty bad lag. It's annoying because this is the final day. I don't know why I've got this huge lag, but because it's the final day, I can't really delay anymore. So it's why I didn't record anything last night, and oh god, that's really bad actually. We'll see how it goes. But last night, I wasn't going to record because it was lagging so much. This is even worse now than it was before. But anyway, yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll ease out a little bit. Sometimes it takes a few maps and then it kind of goes away. So that was the first map. As you can see, just, ran through and killed it off. It's the case for the first few maps. Because they have required power, like, suggested power and everything, like, way below what we actually have. This little buff around me, that's from the Aegis of Sementa Leota ring, gives me 50% damage reduction for 5 seconds. It's really handy when you're trying to run through, and oh my god, it's just frozen. Oh, this is a nightmare. I might actually have to pause the recorder. I think that's what I'll do after this run. I'll pause the recorder and see if I can restart and get it going. Alright, I was able to end some process. It seemed that there was some weird processes going on that were lagging out my computer. So, hopefully everything should be a bit smoother now. And we'll get some nicer runs. Make it a bit easier on my end as well. Yeah, it looks a bit better. Cool, alright. Not like 100%, actually. No, now it's going bad again. Anyway, this is the third map. So as you can see, I'm not one-shotting the boss. Takes a little bit of punishment. I'll see if that thing's there still. System interrupts. Well, there was that. Okay. Alright, it's not as bad as it was. Don't know what's going on. Okay, so then onto the fourth map. Bosses will slowly take a little bit longer to kill. You can do this with any class, actually, the racing through. It's actually easiest with Knight because you can tank up so much with your skills. Wizards can obviously teleport past, so they can get through fastest. But yeah, unless you have the stats to kind of tank some of the range enemies, because they will hit you as you run past, then yeah, you can struggle. And you could put down drakes and stuff, but actually, you know, the time it takes you to pause to put drakes and stuff to try and then teleport around, they actually kill the drakes off really quickly. So you see on there's one particular late map, it's the Lost Hills, which you can't do that on. You can't run past. So I think that was the Silk Road. So we'll do the Spider's Den now. It better have been Silk Road. Yeah, okay, cool. I was remembering correctly. So when you do the festivals, which require this stuff, you have to do each map like 30 times. A few of them you have to do 90 times. So Blind Man's Pass, the last one, you have to do 90 times. And yeah, you'll see how I like to use the skills as well as we go through. Polymorph is excellent for the crowd control. And it's a great way to open the battles. I pretty much just use Polymorph and Flame Breath, and then I just kind of dance around the enemies. And then Mimic, I throw in there for, you know, extra damage. And, what are we up to? Kings Road Creek. And then also we got the Drakes to try and distract the enemies a bit, as well as doing some extra damage. Drakes are brilliant for bosses because, the bosses typically, they don't do loads of attacks at once, so you can, ooh, I got hit there. They don't do loads of attacks at once, so they take ages taking down the Drakes. As long as there are no other enemies, really. Which running through the map can cause you problems because all the enemies come from behind, and you know you can then end up facing the boss with a load of other stuff. So you can see my armor's just ended. I'll go in here now. So this boss takes a little bit more punishment. It's very important to be using the Fiery Aura for defense. You can't have it on constantly, and of course it gets destroyed too. But you can use it really frequently. So it's important to get that in. That stops you getting kind of one shot by stuff. At least with my armor, because you know earlier on I showed my armor. I'm just over 2 million. So that was Kings Road Creek, and then we've got Executioner Camp. This one used to be a personal, well, kind of is still a favourite of mine for farming stuff. It's a very short map to run through, and it's got a fair few enemies in it. It's got some bigger ones as well that have good jewel drops. So that's what I like to use it for. Alright, so we put on the defences, and oh yeah, and I forgot I got Meteor Strike as well for good single target damage. But it's not that great when you're facing all the enemies, because you know it only hits one enemy, so it doesn't come in a lot of use. So that's Executioner Camp. Still speeding through, not really having any trouble yet, but getting to that point where you do start getting some trouble. Next one is Brightwall Gates. I think Brightwall Keep is the first one that actually is pretty tough. I can't remember my exact technique, because like I said before, I played for a little bit over an hour through these maps. So I got an idea of what they're like, but not like totally. So I don't have like the technique down to a T on some of the tougher maps. Well, it really lagged there, and it did mad squirrel randomly. I didn't click that. But it seemed to kind of take the 3 button on teleport and also the other one. Okay, so let's take this boss a little bit more seriously, because there is the risk. Oh, I haven't got armor buff on, and it was lagging, but we're safe, just about. So yeah, you'll see I do actually take down a lot of these small enemies really quickly, and that's actually the case on the later maps as well. The small enemies can be taken down pretty quickly. It's probably to do with my stats, maybe my crit damage, meaning that I do some good damage. But just generally having high elemental stats means that you're going to be doing more than the standard amount, and it really helps out. So next is Brightwell Keep. So here we've got to start being a little bit more careful. It's suggested power 130,000, which is actually what the amount of power which I have. It's gone down a little bit because I sort of adjusted stuff. So yeah, 129. So yeah, this is now kind of supposedly getting a bit tougher. I'm just going to polymorph them and then get past. It's important you stop just sort of early of them. Oh, we're lagging. Okay, but I know I can get into this boss and take it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on getting this bomb enemy first, because he's going to annoy me. And I am lagging, which is not good. Oh dear, this is really bad. Okay, yeah, I died. Damn it! Alright. We'll do that again. That was not really my fault there, I don't think. I don't know what's happening with the lag here. I wish I could have waited and tried to sort this out and then record another time, but unfortunately it is the last day this is all out, so I wanted to make a video, and I hope you can enjoy it despite some of this lag problem. High mobility on a wizard is the strongest attribute of a wizard, and you can see me trying to control the spacing and all that kind of stuff. It's very important that you can do that. So you can see here, I'll just dance to the other side. We haven't got Mad Squirrel, so I'll pace around the outside, put the drakes in, do Mad Squirrel now, get to the other side, so I can then put a drake down. I am actually taking out a lot of the other enemies, which I probably shouldn't have bothered with, because they just kind of die off to Mad Squirrel, while I focus on the boss. But anyway, it's fine. We can do that. The boss is messed up, so I can't target it. I can't even see his health. It did this actually when I was doing it last night. Just for some reason this boss seems to do it more than others. Okay, well anyway, as you can see, I've got control of the situation, so I can't target it with Meteor Strike, but I can still do the other things. I probably shouldn't have teleported next to him and let myself get hit there. Thankfully it didn't one-shot me. I found that with my stats, I can basically avoid one-shots if I have Fiery Aura on. But the really big boss attacks, like they one-shot, you can't really avoid that. You've just got to avoid getting hit by them. This guy has so much health. It'll go down at some point. There we go. Cool. I knew it was going to be. As soon as I started talking, that's when he'd die. So that's probably one of the toughest bosses, and I think we'll leave it there. Sorry again for some of the lag in this, and to carry on with part 2, where I'll be doing the next few maps, where they'll be getting a little bit tougher, but still manageable. You can do them solo as a wizard, as long as you're good with the mobility and stuff. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've only got 4 more maps to do, so yeah, it'll be 2 videos. Cool. So I'll see you in part 2, and I hope you enjoyed this.